As far as quantifiable results go, we are not even 6 months in. The company's not even a year old, and we're already hitting the #1 ranking.
Let's say that somebody's sitting on the fence and they're thinking, can I trust these guys? Like, do they do good work? They're thinking about working with us at Stryker Digital, but they're unsure. What would you have to say?
I want to say, just say nut up and do it. I'm 100% certain nobody will be disappointed.
How's it translated into revenue for you so far with leads coming from Google?
This year, I think we have $78,000 on the books already. That's thrown off because we've got 2 jobs that make up almost 50,000 of that. That's where the business can change in an instant.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I have my client here, Ryan. He's been working with us for quite a few months now at Stryker Digital. We've been overseeing his SEO campaign. Ryan, thanks for coming on to do this with me. It's a pleasure. Could you mind telling people a little bit about yourself and your business?
Yeah, so like Andy said, I'm Ryan. Run portable toilet rental business, luxury portable toilets in Maryland, and it feels like it's been a while, but it actually hasn't been that long. I think we've only been on this deal for 6 months or so, and we've already started to see some great results. We knew a little bit about SEO and built our own website, and then I forget why or what was the impetus. Reached out to Bodie, your partner, and said, what would you do with this? He was out of the country, so we actually had one of your other clients get on a meeting with us and explain how everything would work, and decided to go for it. And that was 6 months ago, I think, and it's been pretty great since.
Yep. So what's been great about it? Like, what can you quantify? Was it like just the experience of working with us, like the level of customer support, the results? I know there's been some of those as well that we'll want to hit on, but just the overall picture, what's your experience been like?
Yeah, I think everything you'd want out of an agency. We have incredible transparency, incredible access. We've had like one sort of unpleasant experience was a check-in call where you had somebody new on the account, and it was pretty clear we just weren't getting along. And all of a sudden, on the next check-in call, our old guy was back and he was gone. So that was a minor hiccup, but corrected immediately. And then as far as quantifiable results go, we are not even 6 months in. The company's not even a year old, and we're already hitting the #1 ranking for some of the things that we're targeting. We're making pretty big steps, like from being the 100 plus somewhere on the results to top 30, which doesn't mean anything because you need to be top 3, but going from 100 to top 30 in a month is a great jump. So quantifiable, great results. I think our calls every month are doubling right now. You can have these eye-popping numbers when you're new, so it's a little bit easier. But everything we wanted to see, we've seen, and also just like working with you guys too. It's fun to have check-in calls, and it's cool that you guys. It's pretty clear you really want people to succeed, not just are really good at a service and do it for the money. That helps. That happens too, but it's pretty cool to see you guys cheer us on when great things happen.
Yeah, I mean, I take the perspective on it as, like the only way that you're going to really build a good business for yourself is if you provide a good service to people, or else you're just like constantly running away from the reality, right? It's every business. If you don't provide a good service and actually care about the people that you work with, it's eventually going to come crumbling down at some point. And it's the same for any business. It'll be the same for your business. Like when you provide a really good quality work for somebody, that person is likely to tell somebody else when in need of that service about you and the service that you provide. And then that's going to be a customer's, like word of mouth becomes exponential. And I know about the one hiccup there. And I think one of the things that like we try and do well, and most of the people that we work with as business owners, like I think most business owners do really well is this. It's just like own up to it. It's like, yeah, we did make a mistake for sure. Like we made a mistake, and we're all humans. Like we all going to make a mistake here and there. Like we're not absolutely perfect, but it's at least like, fixing it, like trying to fix it and correct it as soon as possible. But yeah, also,
yeah, I think my favorite thing about that situation, it was just proactive. And I didn't even say that it wasn't a great meeting. I think our main guy, Jerry, was still on the call and listening and could tell that it wasn't going well. And so we didn't even have to reach out for the problem to get fixed. That's the best kind of customer service, is when your problems are anticipated. You try to do that with the toilets. So any problem that can happen, we try to have it figured out before it even comes up or before the client brings it up. It was cool to see that with you guys too.
And then, so there was probably like, there's a ton of SEO agencies out there, right? There's a million of them. There's a million of them. So I'm just wondering, like what made you decide to go in on working with us versus, like the plethora of others that, would have loved to have your business as well.
Yeah, there's a billion other ones, right? And I actually only talked to one and just didn't really, well, actually, it was a little bit of a longer story. So I talked to one, a guy I met on Twitter, and got a demo, saw what he was going to do, got a whole set of documents, what he was going to do, and then happened to be talking about the business with two other business owner friends at an event where our toilets were, and we were all just kind of hanging out by the toilets, which is what the really cool kids do. And the one guy, his main business is a sound and production business, but he also does SEO, which he's shutting down because the sound and production business is taking off so much. And he was like, well, let me look at what that guy's offering for you. And so he looked at it, I went over to his house, and he's like, this guy, they're overcharging and under delivering. You can do this yourself. And so I did for a little while. And then I've seen Bodie on Twitter for a while, even before he was not anonymous on his account. And so I had been following everything y'all had done. I'd watched every single video you had put out. I still have them bookmarked on my bookmarks bar here in Chrome. And that's what I was basing my SEO knowledge on. And honestly, kind of figured it would just be too expensive. So hadn't reached out. And then after I did it myself for a little while, which I say a little while, it was a couple weeks, I just realized this is one of those things it's better to hire someone who's great at it. So I got a demo, was pretty surprised by the value, and decided to go for it. Didn't talk to any other agencies.
Yep. Yeah. It's like, like people that we run into this a lot, it's a good idea. It's like, oh, I'll just learn this myself and do this and to save money. It makes sense. But eventually it actually can cost you money in the long run, just from like the opportunity cost of not getting to where you want to be. And then if you make mistakes along the way, extending the process, it's just, like if my toilet's clogged and I can't figure it out like in a quick 5 minutes, like I got to call a plumber, or else I'm going to tear the thing apart and I'm going to cost myself way more money because I wasn't just willing to call the plumber to do it right the first time. Right. I think that's like, a perfect example of that. But I hear that one, I see that one a lot. And it makes logical sense to try it, but it's difficult to do, right? Like to actually do it, like actually acquire yourself backlinks, know how to build the content. And like then you have to become a website developer, right? You actually have to know like whatever the platform is you're using. Now you got to learn how to actually like basically build a website. That's a learning curve. And then understanding the type of content you need to build, how you need to build it, how you need to internally link it, the amount of words on the page, like all of these things that go into it, which is just like the content section. Like that's just the one page section, right? It's just one part of it. And so it's a massive learning curve, and it can be an expensive learning curve by the time you like pay for courses to like learn. And hopefully the course is good, pay for a tool like SEMrush and things like that. You're going to end up spending thousands of dollars and hours of time anyways.
Yeah, I think I was probably in an even more unique situation. Is like, let's say you guys know like 80 to 90 to 100% of what you need to be good at this or great at this. I probably know 10 to 20% of it. And I think that's a really dangerous position to be in, because you actually do have the capability to do it yourself, even if it's not well. And it's not like someone who has no idea what to do. And so they just really have to hire someone, or it's going to be a huge nightmare to figure it out. I'm like, I could say I know enough to be dangerous. And so that tempted me for a little while to do that. But then at the end of the day, just realized in this business, search is the most important acquisition channel for customers, because everybody's got a plumber they know, right? Or they have a friend who they know will know a plumber, but nobody's really got a toilet rental guy. So when somebody needs one, they just Google it. And so you just have to come up in the top three, ideally on paid and organic, and we're going to get to paid eventually. But it's not important or kind of important. It's absolutely critical for this. Like you'll get almost all of your customers just from Google, and
Yep.
you can go to all the trade shows you want, the bridal shows, cold call people. But at the end of the day, people are just, when they need this, they need it. Nobody knows who does it, and they just Google it.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're saying that just like I say it a lot of times too. It's that like, and this is the same for a lot of businesses, but for yours, it's not like you're not going to do Facebook ads because someone's not just going to see a Facebook ad and think now's a good time to rent a porta potty, right? Like it just doesn't work that way. It's like when you need it, you need it. Therefore, there's only one place you go to search when you need something. It's intent based, and you go to Google to find it, right? It's the same, like same for a plumber. It's like, well, as you see an ad for a plumber and you're thinking, well, I don't need my toilet unclogged right now, you know, like it works fine. There's no need for it.
Yeah.
And like your business is very similar.
The only other thing we could do is just try to provide an awesome service, and that if you were at a party where one of these was, and then you do need one for your own later, you text that person who had the party and you ask them who they used. But even that, we're not counting on that as much. That's just the default part of what we do, is to try and do an amazing job. So we're not doing that because we want referrals. We're just doing that because we want to do an amazing job, and hopefully it happens.
Yep. Yeah. Awesome. So I got one last question for you. And so let's say that somebody's sitting on the fence and they're thinking, can I trust these guys? Like, do they do good work? You know, like they're thinking about working with us at Stryker Digital, but they're unsure. You know, what would you have to say? And be completely raw and transparent, good and bad, you know, answer it truthfully.
Honestly, I just say nut up and do it. I've sent 3 friends who own businesses to you guys already. I think only one of them is probably converted. He had a Google business profile that was suspended, and I think it was suspended for like 3 weeks. And I texted it, or I was at coffee with him and asked him how much he was paying and who was doing his stuff. I was like, why don't you just use the people that I use? And he was like, well, I already have this person. They do a good job. And I was like, they do a good job? You've been suspended for weeks. He's like, well, if by Monday I can't get it, then you know, text me and put him in touch. And I was like, all right, cool. So sure enough, yesterday rolled around. We did. Hopefully you guys are getting on with him. The dog groomer, who should absolutely crush it with you because they have a great product and great service. They just need the world to know about it. So yeah, if you have someone you're like happy enough with, you don't want to be happy enough. You want to have great results, and results speak for themselves. Give it a try for 6 months. You don't even need a year. You don't even really need 6 months to see it start to work. You'll see the graphs, all the right graphs go up right away, and just do it. Lowest level commitment is not that much money for 3 months. I'm 100% certain nobody will be disappointed.
Awesome. Yeah. Well,
I only look forward to increasing my spend with you guys. I can't wait to do ads. I can't wait to do more SEO. Right now we do what we can.
Oh, if we did ads and SEO across a wider service area, if you expand geographically and we do that for your industry specifically, like it's just a really great setup because nobody's that sophisticated in this type of industry. There are people, and those are the people that are like really doing well. They're really crushing, really dominating. But like when you're willing to like take modern day strategies and place them into an industry like you're in, excellent outcomes.
We haven't even been around for 12 months yet, and I think we are the third highest ranked on the area in Google. Not in terms of like where we search come up, but in terms of number of reviews. It's just an antiquated business. So can't wait to keep crushing it with you guys. You're gonna do a lot more.
How's it translated into revenue for you so far with leads coming from Google?
This year, it's thrown. I mean, I think we have $78,000 on the books already. That's thrown off because we've got 2 jobs that make up almost 50,000 of that. That's where the business can change in an instant. A month or a week ago or 2 weeks ago, we had sat down, thought about buying another one, and decided not to because we didn't need to. We could borrow whatever we needed for a couple one-off rentals that we had. But then the phone rings, someone needs it for 6 months, and we already have it out for 6 months somewhere else, the only one we do have. So we can't fulfill all those things anymore. So we have to buy one a week after we decided we didn't need one. But the great thing is that one rental with net profit will pay for 25% of that new trailer in the first 6 months. So it can just change really fast. And you don't get that without Google. The companies that we're doing that one for, we're delivering it in 12 days. We'll have it out there. They were unhappy. They had somebody else. And so they were like, these guys are unreliable. They don't show up and the trailer's broken. So they went on Google and they looked for who else does this. When they had first booked it, we probably weren't even around yet. So they didn't see us. Now they see this company that's perfect 5-star rating and almost 50 reviews. When the next, it's either there's one with 200 There's one with, I think, 80, and then there's us, and then everybody else has like 30 or like 2. So we came up really high, and they decided to switch to us. It was the exact same price, just a tiny bit more expensive to go with us. Much better service, theoretically, on their part. They don't know that yet, but they will, and it's a no-brainer.
Yep. Beautiful setup, to be honest. Like that's home services as a whole right there. That's why guys like you can come in and do so well. But yeah, I think that's all I have for you. Thanks so much for doing this. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. And looking
Yeah, I
forward
hope
to
it
the
helps you
future.
guys.
Thank you.
All right, talk to you later, Andy.